Iconic hooks, iconic looks, live life by design, but not by the book. Maybe you had some judgments today for what I was wearing and what I might say. Would you believe me if Run DMC and Aerosmith told me to walk this way and talk this way? To carve a lane in serenity like king or queen, because Freddie Mercury said, I want to break free. Through style and sound, there have been many different versions. Make changes like Madonna, never dressed like a virgin. Yet with certain sounds over the centuries, music and fashion and culture have formed their own identities. So I'll share some thoughts with style and decorum, an eternal optimist exploring in this forum. So get ready for a journey of fashion and arrive at Fred Perry. Iconic hooks, iconic looks, live life by design and not by the book. Let's take a snapshot of the last century. Start at the roaring 20s. Seemingly innocent with style and pizzazz, linked with being suited and booted with fedoras and flapper fashion associated to jazz. Late 40s, bobby soxers, ankle socks, poodle skirts, rolled denim done proper, sloppy sweaters, saddle shoes, fluffy blouses were showstoppers and they were new. In the 50s, this is where connection grew, the link between music and fashion fused. And in 1952, the Fred Perry brand was founded. In that same year, that same shirt would transcend sports and streetwear had its announcement. Films with musicians were flashy and put on a show. And you can thank icons like Elvis and the music of rock and roll. Swagging out in the 60s saw a shift in London against the odds. Polo shirts, penny loafers, alongside ska and soul came the mods. In the US, they did things differently, with the hippie epiphany, trippy, a soundtrack to anti-war. They got their fashion from clothing bins and army and navy stores. There were opportunities to brag. When James Brown told us, Papa's got a brand new bag. Iconic hooks, iconic looks, live life by design and not by the book. The 70s saw elevations in funk, brought about punk. It was an era of fetish clothes, heavy makeup and colourful hair. An era of Sex Pistols and Vivienne Westwood established themselves there. Even at times, punks wearing swastikas were considered as racist, but to them, their Doc Martens and safety pins were a visual statement. Glam rock and Bowie's music let the style and times advance, sharing songs and saying, let's dance. The 80s saw a new wave of arts and antics, categorized by offspins of punks and became the new romantics. The rise of Duran Duran, spanned-out ballet boy bands got through, stylized by glamour and period costumes. At the same time, there was b-boy style and hip-hop. At the same time, there was pale makeup and horror themes of goth. The 90s had so many styles and became its own entity. From dance, baggy, EDM, hip-hop were part of its identity. There was a rise of techno, electro, and house, baggy garms and raving in ecstasy in vast amounts. On the other side of the pond, they took a plunge into Nirvana, smelling like teen spirit, and into grunge. At that time, Britpop, Blur, and Oasis arrived. I said maybe. Stone Island and Fred Perry were once again on the rise. Iconic hooks, iconic looks, live life by design and not by the book. Before there was fast fashion from Boohoo, LL had me rolling up one leg, walking all over at a slow pace, trying to find FUBU. A force of rebellion with an attitude like, who cares? Got me swagging out in a classic Capadonna two-piece from Woo Wear. With a crew feeling like no one could touch us, on a motive to bring the motherfucking ruckus. The late noughties sway from the UK spoke the truth about using bare credit to get garms with no passion. Then asked about it in a song, he said, I don't know, I was just following fashion. Going along to the clash with bare MCs and rappers, grime and a hip hop set with Nat trackies and Kappa, 90 and 140 BPM at the time was all that mattered. Taking it back to them old school days, like Kano, shirt champagne and low fade. In more recent times, if the song bang and there is swagger, you click a like and a repost. especially when they in Versace, 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 like Migos. Beyond 2020, fashion continues to be amending, with Lil Nas X and Harry Styles gender blending. An insight to what music and fashion taught, all glitz and the glory from The Clash by Dave and Stormzy. Jordan 4s or Jordan 1s, Rolexes got more than one, but AP cost 31, millimeters 41, in my head to achieve before I'm 41. Iconic hooks, iconic looks, live life by design and not by the book. See, Fred Perry's subcultures are reminding you there is a place for you to belong, and increasing sustainable practices encouraging you better cotton on. A UK brand that went global beyond places like Venice. It all started with a polo, a laurel wreath, and some tennis. FP has always been different, created a new breed of winners. From runways to stages, clubs, and uni dorms, they were cotton spinners. Fred Perry has been the uniform of the non-uniform. You know this in every fiber. There is the evidence that it is a symbol for success and excellence. Art and music have always been a sensation, so the Fred Perry created the Amy Winehouse Foundation. Even though after lockdown a lot of venues shut, they went beyond with a tennis charity and also set up the Music Venues Trust. It goes beyond clothing. Are you seeing? They're even supporting youth culture in a museum, standing the test of time and holding steady, welcoming innovation and excellence from Fred Perry. If you had questions about the link between music and fashion, here is your mirrored view. Because stylized in these vibrations, every texture is sewn into every part of you.